The NICU at Corewell Health is turning 50 this month. Quite the milestone. We spoke to a family who found faith in delivering their micro-preemie babies. It's a sound that residents of Grand Rapids West Side have heard ringing through these neighborhoods for more than a century. That sound could be silenced soon unless enough funds are raised to save it. To learn more about the specifics in your area and to even report the need for snow removal, I have all the details for you on fox17online.com. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Jack Caron, Fox 17 News. Houses are always needing repairs. Plumbing, flooring, shingles, it goes on. For one iconic home here in Muskegon, it seems to never end, and there's a reason why.
There are a total of 27 colors throughout the 3 buildings.
The Hackley and Hume site, steeped with over 130 years of history. It needs a couple of touch-ups.
When you're looking from the ground up, you don't necessarily see all the areas that are rotted.
Alex Fonseca, the owner of Fresh Coat Painters,
So you think maybe it's just the paint that's chipping until you get to it and start scraping. And
took on quite the job.
over the years, whoever painted before, they documented the best that they could what those colors were, and they started numbering them.
So it's
kind of a paint by number. We actually have numbers that coincide with the paint colors.
Erin Schmitz is the Historic Sites Director for Lakeshore Museum Center in Muskegon. She makes sure everything is done properly.
With any house or any old house, a lot of things have to be kept up on.
From the roof to the windows to the walls.
Colors that you see on the buildings now are the original, that they were painted in 1887.
While work is done nearly every summer at the site, this time marks its biggest.
Has not been done since the 1990s.
For a job so monumental, extra steps are needed.
That includes, a lot of scraping and sanding some of the paint that's been peeling.
It's a big job.
We're just really excited to be a part of it.
Because preservation
I love this community.
is paramount. To keep up to date with the restoration progress at the Hackley and Hume Historic Site, we have a link for you to check out at the web version of this story at fox17online.com. Reporting in Muskegon, Jack Caron, Fox 17 News. It's an accident.
He tripped over it.
Turned.
He actually came to us and asked us
into an invention.
if we could create a device to organize his oxygen tubing while he was moving around.
Austin and Alex Pollock were determined to solve that very problem for their grandpa.
We broke it down from what he is looking for and a solution to his tubing being all over the floor.
That solution took the shape of a motorized device they named Reel Free.
We created the reel, kind of stemmed off of a garden hose reel that cranks up, but automated with a remote.
With the click of a button, the 50 feet of tubing is reeled back, ruling out tripping hazards.
He uses a remote when he's moving towards the oxygen concentrator or tank to keep that tubing out from under his feet.
With Grandpa's problem solved, the Pollock brothers decided to share their success.
We posted a video of it, and it blew up on LinkedIn. We realized there's a lot of other people just like our grandfather who are dealing with this long oxygen tubing.
And quickly, investors came in.
We're raising $570 and blew it out of the water, more than double that. People were like, we want to help you.
And quickly, investors came in.
We had an individual, another MSU alumni, reach out to us, and he wanted to get his hands on the device.
Paul Woodruff, like Alex and Austin's grandpa, found his own wife's oxygen tubing troublesome.
And not only is that a tripping hazard for her, it's for her hubby too, anybody else that's in the house.
That's what made Paul jump to help the brothers.
I offered to be whatever I could be in the way of a coach long distance.
The one condition?
I said, I got to get one of these.
Serving as an unofficial product tester, Paul and his wife sent notes while also getting attention.
When they see this, they say, oh my gosh, where did you get this? How do I get one? It sells itself.
Now, lodged at the Burgess Institute downtown, the Pollock brothers are eager to launch while also looking back at Grandpa.
He'd be happy that we're sticking to our promise with him to get this in the hands of other people that need it, just like him.
Austin and Alex hope to see Reel Free on the market within the month. We have info on how to reserve one at fox17online.com. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Jack Caron, Fox 17 News.
Poverty and unemployment.
Higher stress levels, those increase your risks of anxiety.
Lack of affordable housing.
You have increased rates of depression.
Chronic health conditions.
Higher rates of ADHD.
racism and discrimination,
and then even substance abuse.
some causes and effects of a systemic issue that can happen to anyone.
When you don't have the appropriate nutrients going into your body, it's one thing after another, and everything tends to snowball.
That snowball continues to roll, and kids are caught up in it, according to Dr. Cochran from West Michigan Pediatrics.
The current estimates are that there are 13 million children in the U.S. that are struggling with hunger and food insecurity.
So, what do the numbers look like here in West Michigan?
According to Feeding America, over 200,000 people in West Michigan are food insecure. In Muskegon County alone, 19.6% of children are experiencing food insecurity. So, when are kids considered the most food insecure?
Then summer arrives, and there's not always very much thought to, are these same kids getting the same level of care that they were before?
Shay Kobach, the program lead for Feeding America West Michigan, has been working hard for the past several summers, bridging the gap.
Our big thing is that we want to eliminate barriers for kids trying to get food in the summertime. We don't want to make it any more complicated than it needs to be.
West Michigan's branch has a hopeful solution. They call it Gather to Grow. It's a grab-and-go system put in place where kids tend to gravitate.
We teach little kids that if they're lost, to go to the library and get help.
Basically, they're meal kits, a one-stop shop, if you will.
All you have to do is show up during their service time, no questions asked.
From cheese sticks to peanut butter and jelly tortilla wraps.
Food that's all branded with brand names that they would know.
Gather to Grow is working to bring meals to every kid in West Michigan.
This year we're going to have 32 libraries participating with us, not just in Kent County.
Doing its part to end food insecurity.
We want getting food assistance in any way, whether it's a child or an adult.
Because people's health and well-being
Increased rates of other adult complications such as high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, even cancer
are at stake.
To see a full list of Gather to Grow's participating locations, we have them detailed for you at fox17online.com. Reporting in studio, Jack Caron, Fox 17 News.
What started as a normal Saturday morning
I felt really violated in a way.
quickly turned into a frustrating one. Video proof of a donation jar ripped right off the counter when a Happy Cat Cafe barista
Turned around to make a drink.
the jar in question, not tips, it was donations.
All donations go directly to Fig and Friends to support the rescue efforts.
It's a nonprofit organization to help rescue cats.
Losing the money that goes to the actual cat rescue kind of hurt a little deeper.
To make up for the lost money, an online fundraiser was created. Included on the page, the incriminating security video.
When the video came out, we put a Facebook fundraiser on the video, and we were able to raise $600 in the first night.
Since then,
Fortunately, we were able to raise almost $1,000 so far. The video got over 2.5 million views so far, so that is crazy.
while the video certainly generates clicks and shares, it also needs to bring in donations in the form of a beverage.
It's called the Rescues Refresher. It's a 20-ounce vanilla latte. Proceeds from that beverage are going to go back to Fig and Friends as well.
As jarring as the crime was,
One thing that I learned is you just kind of have to roll with the punches. When bad things happen,
Refill the tip jar will be accepting donations until August 10th, but the cafe will always accept donations for those cats in need. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Jack Caron, Fox 17 News. For many amputees, getting a new prosthetic can be time-consuming and costly. For one here in Michigan, she's made it her goal to address that issue.
But one of the big things for me after my amputation was the fact that I could only get one prosthesis, and I was told that that prosthesis couldn't get wet.
Insurance in the United States only covers one prosthetic every 3 to 5 years.
They think anything else beyond that is not medically necessary.
For Nicole Verkeilen, that was not enough.
The everyday prosthesis I have is really just meant for walking, and the biomechanics of walking and running are extremely different.
Wanting to call attention to the needs of amputees, Nicole challenged herself and her prosthesis by completing a 1,500-mile triathlon in 2017.
It was just incredibly painful. There was no energy return. Every time I landed on it, it was just so forceful. The forces that it would spread up through my body.
Following that journey in 2017, Nicole connected with the American Orthotic and Prosthetic Association, building a movement across the country.
So Everybody Can Move is a state-by-state legislative initiative working to require insurance companies to cover prosthetics and orthotics for physical activity.
And now,
So now there's 5 states across the country that have this legislation requiring insurance companies to cover prosthetics and orthotics for physical activity.
While bringing advocacy to her home state and working with Mary Free Bed to get new prosthetics, Nicole wants fellow amputees to know
that you're not alone in this process and to fight back. You know, you deserve this. You deserve access to your mobility, and don't ever forget that.
Now with 4 brand new prosthetics, Nicole is looking down the road to eventually run across the country. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Jack Caron, Fox 17 News.